I was signing the paperwork to add her name to the title of my paid-off truck, worth $42,000, making her co-owner, when a delivery arrived at the dealership addressed to her with a card that read, "Can't wait to start our life together. Love always, Tyler." Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. Jacksonville in early May brings this specific kind of heat that reminds you summer is coming whether you're ready or not. The humidity climbing, the Atlantic breeze losing its coolness, everyone starting to plan their days around air conditioning and shade. I'm 35, work as a construction project manager for a commercial development firm, overseeing builds from foundation to final inspection across North Florida and South Georgia. Detail-oriented work where missing something small early can cost hundreds of thousands later, where verification and documentation matter more than assumptions. Skylar is 29, works as a dental hygienist at a practice in Riverside. Outgoing, always talking about her patients and the dentist she worked with, constantly attending continuing education courses to stay current on techniques. We'd been together for a year and 9 months, living together in a house I'd bought in Murray Hill for the past 11 months. The house was mine, bought it 3 years ago, paid it off aggressively last year by living cheap and throwing every bonus and extra dollar at the mortgage. Completely debt-free at 32 felt like a huge accomplishment. The truck situation had come up about a month ago. My Ford F-250, 4 years old, fully paid off, worth about $42,000, was registered solely in my name. Skylar had mentioned a few times that it felt strange that everything was mine instead of ours. The house was mine, the truck was mine, even though we were building a life together. She'd brought it up more seriously 3 weeks ago. It would mean a lot to me if I felt like I had ownership of something we used together. Like the truck. We both drive it, but it's only your name on the title. It makes me feel temporary, like I'm just visiting your life instead of building one with you. I thought about it. We were serious. We'd been talking about engagement vaguely. Making her co-owner of the truck seemed like a reasonable step toward a shared future. It wasn't like adding her to the house. The truck was a vehicle, not a major asset. And we both used it regularly. I told her 2 weeks ago, "Okay, let's add your name to the truck title. Make it officially ours." She'd been emotional about it. Hugged me, said it meant everything, said it showed I really saw a future with her. That Tuesday, May 7th, we had an appointment at the DMV office downtown, but they'd said it would be faster to go through the dealership where I'd bought the truck. They could handle the title transfer paperwork more efficiently. We'd scheduled it for 3 p.m. I'd left a job site in Mandarin early. Skylar had taken the afternoon off from the dental office. We met at the Ford dealership on Atlantic Boulevard at 2:45. The process was straightforward. The title clerk, a guy named Ray, pulled up my truck's information, printed out the title transfer forms. It would add Skylar as a co-owner while keeping me on as well. We'd both have equal ownership rights. If something happened to me, she'd automatically own the full vehicle. If we broke up, we'd both have to agree to any sale or title change. "You're sure about this?" Ray asked me while printing forms. "Once you had a co-owner, you can't remove them without their signature. You'd both have to agree to any changes." "I'm sure," I said. Skylar squeezed my hand. We were signing the forms. I'd signed 3 pages, Skylar had signed 2. We were about halfway through the stack when someone from the dealership's front desk walked back to Ray's office. "Ray, there's a delivery for a Skylar Morrison. Guy said it was important, needed to be signed for." Skylar looked surprised. "A delivery? Here." That's what he said. "You're Skylar Morrison?" "Yeah, but I don't know why anything would be delivered here." "I'll go see," the receptionist said. She came back a minute later with a large bouquet of flowers, roses, lilies, clearly expensive, and a small wrapped gift box. "These are for you. Need you to sign." Skylar signed for them, looking confused. Set the flowers on the corner of Ray's desk. There was a card attached. She opened it. I watched her face change, surprise, then panic. Then she quickly tried to close the card. But I'd already seen part of it. Saw the name signed at the bottom, Tyler. "Who's Tyler?" I asked. "Nobody. Just a friend from." "Let me see the card." "Damon, it's nothing." "If it's nothing, let me see it." She hesitated, then handed me the card. I read it. "Counting down the days until you're finally free and we can start our life together. 2 more weeks, and you'll be here with me where you belong. I love you so much. Can't wait to marry you. Love always, Tyler. I read it twice, then looked at Skylar. What is this? Damon, let me explain. I looked at the gift box. What's in the box? Please don't. I took the box and unwrapped it. Inside was a smaller jewelry box. Opened it. An engagement ring. Diamond, white gold, clearly expensive. I set the ring box on Ray's desk. Who is Tyler? Skylar was crying now. Can we please talk about this somewhere private? Who is Tyler? My ex-boyfriend from college. Tyler Warren. We dated for 3 years before I moved to Jacksonville for work. Where does he live? Atlanta. And he's sending you an engagement ring and a card saying, 2 more weeks until you're here with me. What happens in 2 more weeks? She didn't answer. Skylar, what happens in 2 more weeks? I was going to tell you. What happens in 2 more weeks? Ray looked extremely uncomfortable, staring at his computer screen, clearly wishing he was anywhere else. I'm moving to Atlanta. I gave my notice at the dental office last week. Tyler has a house there. We're getting married in June. I sat back in my chair. Felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. You're moving to Atlanta to marry your ex-boyfriend. In June. I was going to tell you. I just didn't know how. When were you going to tell me? Before or after I added your name to my $42,000 truck? That's not. I wasn't trying to. When did you get back together with Tyler? We never really broke up. We've been together the whole time. Long distance. I moved to Jacksonville for the job, but we stayed together. The whole time. A year and 9 months together. She'd been with Tyler the entire time. So when we met, when we started dating, you already had a boyfriend in Atlanta. It's complicated. I thought moving to Jacksonville meant starting over, but Tyler and I couldn't let go. And then I met you, and I liked you, but I loved him, and I didn't know what to do. So you did both. Kept Tyler in Atlanta, kept me in Jacksonville, and figured you'd decide eventually which one you wanted. I'm sorry. I know how it sounds. I looked at the title transfer forms on Ray's desk. 3 pages I'd signed, 2 pages she'd signed. Adding her name to my truck that she was planning to drive to Atlanta in 2 weeks to marry someone else. Ray, I said, we're not completing this title transfer. Understood, Ray said quietly, already gathering the forms. Damon, wait. You were going to let me add your name to my truck, then drive it to Atlanta to start a life with Tyler. I need a vehicle. My car is falling apart. Then buy one. Or have Tyler buy you one. But you're not getting half ownership of mine. We had an agreement. We had an agreement based on you building a life with me. You're building a life with Tyler. Agreement's void. I stood up. Ray, destroy those forms. Don't file anything. Already done, Ray said. I walked out of the office. Skylar followed me, crying, trying to explain, trying to get me to listen. I walked to my truck, still only in my name, and got in. She ran around to the passenger side. Damon, please, just let me explain properly. Get away from my truck. This is my truck too. We've been sharing it. It's my truck. My name, my title, my payments that I made before I met you. Get away from it. I started the engine. She stepped back, still crying, still trying to talk. I drove out of the dealership parking lot and headed home. Went straight to the house, my house, only my name on the deed, and started packing her things. Everything that was clearly hers went into boxes. Clothes, toiletries, dental textbooks, her personal items. Worked methodically for 2 hours. She came home around 6. Saw the boxes in the living room. Damon, please, can we just talk about this rationally? How long have you been planning to move to Atlanta? Tyler and I have been talking about it for a few months. How many months? Since February. February. 3 months. You've been planning to leave me for 3 months while living in my house, using my truck, letting me believe we had a future. I was confused. I didn't know if I could actually go through with leaving you, but you gave notice at work. You accepted Tyler's proposal. You're moving in 2 weeks. Sounds like you figured it out. I made a choice. I chose Tyler. But that doesn't mean what we had wasn't real. What we had was you using me for housing and transportation while planning your exit to your real boyfriend in Atlanta. I pulled out my phone and opened our shared cloud storage. Started looking through her files. Found a folder labeled Atlanta Move created in February. Opened it. Moving company quotes. Apartment listings, no house photos. Tyler's house, apparently. Photos of them together. Recent photos, from visits she'd made that she'd told me were dental conferences, or visiting college friends. A document labeled Wedding Planning Timeline. Opened it. Detailed plan for a June 22nd wedding in Atlanta. Venue booked. Dress shopping scheduled. Guest list started. While I'd been thinking about maybe proposing to her someday, she'd been planning a wedding to someone else. "I've seen enough," I said. "Your stuff is packed. Take it tonight, or I'm putting it outside tomorrow." "Where am I supposed to go?" "Hotel. Friend's house." "I don't care. But you're not staying here. This is my home too. Your name's not on the deed. Your name's not on the lease. This is my house. You've been a guest. And now you're leaving." She tried everything over the next 3 hours. Said she'd break up with Tyler. Said she'd stay in Jacksonville. Said she'd do anything to make it work. Said I was being cruel and unfair. I didn't argue. Just kept packing. Kept loading her things. Around 10, she finally called a friend to come help her move the boxes. They loaded everything into the friend's SUV. Skylar stood in the driveway crying, trying one more time to get me to reconsider. "Damon, please. I made a terrible mistake. I'll stay. I'll choose you. You already chose. You chose Tyler in February. You chose him when you gave notice at work. You chose him when you accepted his proposal. You're just trying to unchoose him now because I caught you before you could execute your exit plan. That's not fair. What's not fair is you letting me add your name to my truck title while you're planning to drive it to another state to marry someone else. Get out of my driveway." She left. I went inside, changed the locks, called a 24-hour locksmith, paid the emergency fee, had all new locks installed by 2 a.m. Then I did what I should have done months ago. I verified everything. Opened her social media that was still logged in on our shared tablet. Her Instagram was mostly private, but I'd always been able to see it. Started looking at her posts with fresh eyes. Lots of dental office content, friend groups, normal stuff. But then I started noticing things. Photos from conferences that looked more like vacation photos. Her tagged in Atlanta locations by people I didn't recognize. Found Tyler's profile. Not hard. She followed him, and he followed her. His profile was mostly public. Recent posts showed him in Atlanta. At work, he was some kind of engineer. At restaurants, normal life stuff. But going back through his posts, February, a photo of his hand holding someone else's hand. Caption, "She said yes. Can't wait to start forever." Comments included one from Skylar's account. "Love you so much ring." January, photo of them together at a restaurant in Atlanta. December, Christmas photos. Skylar was in Atlanta with him, meeting his family apparently. She'd been living a double life. Posting about Tyler for his Atlanta friends to see, keeping those posts hidden from me somehow. Probably had me on a restricted list where I couldn't see certain content. I took screenshots of everything. Every post, every comment, every piece of evidence. The contact attempts started the next day. Wednesday, Tyler called from an unknown number. "Damon, this is Tyler Warren. Skylar told me what happened. I want you to know I didn't know you existed until yesterday." "She told you she lived alone?" "She told me she had roommates. Plural. I thought she was renting a room in a house with other dental workers. I had no idea she was in a relationship with you. But she's been visiting you. You proposed to her in February. You never wondered why she didn't want you visiting Jacksonville." Long pause. "She said her roommates were strict about guests, and she preferred coming to Atlanta because she missed it. I didn't question it. So you're just as much a victim of her lies as I am." I guess so. She's here now. Drove up last night. She's a mess. She says she wants to call off the wedding, that she realizes she loves you. She loves my house and my truck and the stability I provided. She loves you enough to plan a wedding. She doesn't actually love either of us enough to be honest. What should I do? Marry her if you want. Just know that she's capable of maintaining a full relationship with someone else for almost 2 years while planning a life with you. If she did it to me, she can do it to you. Jesus. Good luck, Tyler. I blocked the number. Thursday, Skylar's best friend Meredith called. "Damon, Skylar is devastated. She drove all the way to Atlanta, and now she doesn't know what to do. Tyler's family won't even talk to her. Tyler's family knows she was living with a boyfriend in Jacksonville while engaged to their son. Everyone knows now. She's mortified. Actions have consequences. She wants to come back to Jacksonville. Start over with you. No. She made her choice. She can live with it." Friday, email from Skylar. Subject, "I'm so sorry." Long explanation about being torn between 2 lives, about not knowing how to choose, about handling everything terribly, about Tyler calling off the wedding, about losing everything. about wanting another chance with me. I replied, "You didn't lose everything. You lost the things you were never honest enough to deserve. Don't contact me again." Set up filter to archive her emails. By late May, I was completely reset. The house felt like mine again. I'd repainted the bedroom, rearranged furniture, made it clear this was my space. Started going to a different gym. Joined a smoking/barbecue class at a culinary school. Learned proper brisket technique, Carolina-style pulled pork, competition ribs. Found the low-end slow cooking meditative. Work stayed busy. Summer construction season meant multiple projects running simultaneously, constant site visits, lots of problem solving. Early June, I ran into Skylar's former co-worker at the dental practice, Jennifer, at a Jaguars community event. "Damon, how are you?" "Good, Jennifer. You?" "I'm okay. I heard what happened with Skylar." The whole office was shocked when she gave notice, and then we found out why. It was something. I don't know if you heard, but she never made it to Atlanta permanently. Tyler called off the wedding once he found out the whole truth. She ended up moving back to Jacksonville last week, but she's working at a different practice on the South Side. Nobody from our office wanted to work with her after what she did. I absorbed that. That's rough. She basically destroyed her reputation here. Everyone in the dental community knows what happened. Hard to rebuild trust after that. Choices have consequences. You seem like you're doing really well, though. I am. Really well. Late June, I was at Riverside Arts Market on a Saturday morning, looking at local art and grabbing coffee, when I saw Skylar. She was alone, looking at jewelry at one of the vendor booths. She saw me. Her face went through several emotions. Then she walked over. "Damon." "Hi, Skylar. How are you?" "I'm good." "You?" "I'm managing. I'm working at a practice on the South Side. Smaller office, lower pay, but they didn't know about everything." "Good that you found something. Tyler and I are done. Completely over. His family made sure he understood what kind of person I am. I'm sorry it didn't work out." "Are you?" "I'm sorry you have to deal with the consequences of your choices." "I'm not sorry you're not with Tyler. That's not my problem." She nodded, eyes filling with tears. "I destroyed everything, didn't I?" "You." "Tyler, my job, my reputation. You made choices. These are the results. Is there any possibility?" "No, Skylar. I figured." She wiped her eyes. "You look happy. Really happy." "I am. I'm glad. You deserved so much better than what I did to you." She started to walk away, then turned back. "The truck thing. I wasn't trying to steal your truck. I just wanted to feel like I belonged in your life. If you'd actually wanted to belong in my life, you wouldn't have been planning a wedding to someone else." She flinched. "That's fair." I finished my coffee, walked along the river for a while, then drove home in my truck. My truck, title only in my name. No complications, no lies attached to it. My house was quiet and cool. I'd done some renovations over the past month. New deck in the backyard, updated the kitchen backsplash, small projects that made the space feel fresh. I spent the afternoon smoking ribs, 6-hour process, careful temperature control, precise timing. The kind of cooking that requires patience and attention. Later I had some friends over, people from work, neighbors, my brother and his family. We ate ribs on the new deck, drank beer, talked about normal things. Nobody mentioned Skylar. That chapter was closed. I didn't feel triumphant about her situation. I felt clear about the decision I'd made. Working in construction had taught me that you catch problems during inspection before you build on top of them. If you miss something at the foundation level and keep building, eventually the whole structure fails. The delivery at the dealership had been my inspection moment, catching the problem before I'd built anything more on top of it. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt whole. When flowers and an engagement ring get delivered to your girlfriend while you're literally signing paperwork to add her to your truck title, revealing she's planning to marry someone else, do you complete the paperwork anyway, or do you walk away immediately? Share your perspective in the comments.